Genuinely though, it really is so frustrating seeing all of these posts. Like I've seen several huge creators who are making posts about that Australian mom thing. And at first they're like, oh yeah, she was standing up for a child. But then so many of them are ending it by being like, but those poor children have now been traumatized. Those children are inflicting trauma. And it also displays to me like this gross, negligent lack of understanding of like extreme personality disorders, which, yeah, guess when they start manifesting? Guess when they start manifesting? And it's so like it's icky and virtue signaling to me. These parents who are getting on here, these creators, these big creators are like, well, I understand where that mom's coming from, but she shouldn't talk to bullies that way. She shouldn't threaten the people who have been threatening to unalive her child. That virtue signaling is nonsense in the face of what you were looking at. Because I don't know if you guys have seen that whole video, but that mother, even though she's in that kid's face screaming, that kid, cold as ice, that bully, says, is that supposed to scare me? Like, she's cold as ice. And it feels like to me that these middle of the road virtue signaling creators who are like, oh, well, but the bullies are children. Just, again, no concept of what they're talking about. Because if you go and you look at the record of any violent psychopath or sociopath who are always narcissists, you know what you find? It's not them just killing kittens. Yeah, it's not just them killing kittens. It's them being bullies, torturing people as teens emotionally and mentally. Ted Bundy didn't just become Ted Bundy. There is an escalation over time, and most of the time, those symptoms start showing themselves in puberty. And you know what's really great about this book? The writer has worked with psychopaths and like serial killers for years and years and years. And he makes the point that everyone who works with these people essentially understands one truth. The cure for them is lethal injection, right? There's no cuddling them or therapying them into being a better person. So it'd be really, really great if the virtue signalers on this app who are like, oh, but the poor bullies, could understand that we might be looking at some extreme personality problems that need to be addressed in the most hardcore way possible. So that mother standing up to those bullies that aggressively, you know what? She might have just saved their lives. Those two little psychopaths that are already displaying some really worrying behavior trying to get someone to take their lives, she might have just shown them enough fear that they'll get themselves in line and just become CEOs instead of people unaliving other people. So, a little perspective goes a long way.